Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to look at how to monitor a Kubernetes cluster using Grafana. I currently have a Kubernetes cluster with two nodes. One is the control plane node, the other is the worker node. So this is the cluster that I'm going to be monitoring. I'm going to create a namespace. I'll call it monitoring. I'm going to do this to create an isolation for all the parts that are going to be running for Grafana. Now, when I do kubectl get namespaces, see my namespace is active. First things first, let's go to Grafana Cloud. I'm using the icon consult profile for my Grafana Cloud to set this up. So this is my Grafana Cloud stack. So if you click launch, this should open all the stack that is in there. You have Grafana, Prometheus, Loki, etc. At the moment, I need just the Grafana, so I will launch Grafana. Okay, so this is the Grafana Cloud page. Now, before we even get in there, some prerequisites to think about. First is kubectl, but as you can clearly see, I have kubectl installed. If you do not know how to install it, I have a video on how to create a Kubernetes cluster and configure kubectl on it, so you can watch that video. Another thing else to install that is also a prerequisite is Helm. To install Helm, Google install Helm. So there are several ways of installing Helm. I'm going to use installation from the script. So I will copy this first command, paste it and run it, make it executable, and then run the shell script. So Helm is installed into this location, user local bin Helm. Now with that out of the way, I will go to infrastructure, Kubernetes, go to start sending data. All right, when you click start sending data, you will see the prerequisites, kubectl and Helm. That's what we just installed. The next one is the backend installation. Now this is going to install required alert rules. Hit install. Now you see that alert rules and recording rules have been installed. That's good. Next is Kubernetes cluster. Our cluster is called icons-kubernetes and the namespace monitoring. And of course, we are monitoring Kubernetes. I'll keep all of this on the defaults. And then at the fourth stage, you need to generate an access token. I'll create a new token. So the name, I'll give it icon Kubernetes token. Now I'll leave it as no expiry. For the scopes, you can see metrics writes, logs writes, traces writes, and metrics read. Just hit create token. Now once it's created, you will see the token right below. Copy this and save it somewhere safe. Next, deploy our monitoring resources on the cluster. Now you have two options. You can either use Helm or Terraform. Currently, we have Helm installed, so we go with the Helm installation instructions. Everything is generated already from the information that you provided up here. Okay, everything is in this Helm chart. You can see the content here is very long. You can copy this and paste it directly on the terminal. But one thing you will notice is when you copy and paste everything in here, it's not able to paste all of it. You see there is some section that is not showing. So instead of doing that, I'll quit this. I'll clear the screen. Then what I will do is I'll create a file, values.yaml. I'll paste the script in here, and then I'll remove the EOF. I'll go up, basically just modifying it a little bit. I need this command to run on the terminal, so I'll copy it, and then I'll remove all of them. Okay, values.yaml looks like this. Save and quit. Next, deploy the values.yaml file that we just created. Now you can see that the copy that we did, I deleted the early few lines. Now those are actually the commands to run this YAML file. So you see YAML repo add. This is adding the Grafana Helm chart repo. We'll update it and then it will start installing. It's installing to the namespace monitoring that we created from our cluster. If it's not there, it's going to create it. And then we have to reference our values, but our values are found in values.yaml. Press enter. Namespace is done. Values.yaml file or the Helm chart has been deployed. kubectl, check pods first. Now we are checking the monitoring namespace. So you can see a bunch of pods running. You have Kepler, Grafana node exporter, Alloy, etc. all running. Okay. Now if I do get all, so here are the daemon sets, deployments, replica sets, stateful sets, and you have services here, and you have the pods, and all of them are currently working. Okay. Gonna clear the screen. And of course, if you do kubectl, get pods, -A, Kubernetes cluster default pods are all working, and these are the Grafana pods in the monitoring namespace. All right, that looks good. Let's go back to our Grafana deployment. So we've deployed this fifth step by running this command. Next is to configure application instrumentation. We don't need this currently, so I would go to homepage. So on our homepage, you can clearly see we have only one cluster, and our cluster is iQuant Kubernetes cluster, and it has 2 nodes, worker node and the control plane node. We have 5 namespaces. If I do kubectl, get namespaces, there are 5 active namespaces here. There are 10 workloads, 20 pods, and 24 containers. Here you can sort things, just the monitoring namespace, you can select that, and that should only select workloads inside the monitoring namespace. You can use that to query the entire cluster. This is how you would deploy a Kubernetes cluster monitoring using Grafana, right? You can see the data and how we can monitor. This is our CPU usage by cluster. This is the memory usage. We're going to look at cluster info, select cluster. This is our cluster. Need more details about it. You see everything down here as far as energy, network, details, logs, and events if you are collecting them. These are the events, no logs currently. If you want to check by namespaces, these are the 5 namespaces we had in our Kubernetes cluster. Let's take the monitoring, and you will see display of information about that. You can do the same for nodes. This is the master, this is the worker. You can also track cost. You selected it, and how to save money based on your cluster's performance. So there's a lot you can do with Grafana Cloud as far as monitoring your Kubernetes clusters. Thank you for joining me on this video. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And I will see you on the next one.